They say the end of love doesn't always come with shouting. Sometimes it slips in quietly, carried by the hum of a kitchen clock. For Nora Bennett, that sound became the rhythm of the night her world cracked in half. 20 years of marriage to David had built a life of routines, shared dinners, late-night talks, and laughter that used to echo through the house. But on that winter evening, as dinner cooled on the table, silence had already taken his place. She called his name once, then again. When he finally walked in, she noticed the change before he spoke. His eyes, tired, distant, held the kind of truth no one wants to see. "Nora," he said quietly, "I can't do this anymore." The words didn't explode. They fell heavy and deep, like stones sinking through water. For a heartbeat, she couldn't move. "What do you mean?" she whispered. David looked everywhere but at her. The window, the stove, the chair where their son Ryan used to sit. "I don't know when it happened," he murmured. "I just don't feel the same." Then he lifted a small duffel bag from beside the door, one she hadn't noticed until that moment, and walked out. The door clicked softly behind him, but its echo roared through the house. Time lost shape that night. The clock ticked on, cruelly steady, while the food went cold. Outside, the world looked untouched. Cars passed, a dog barked, streetlights hummed. Inside, everything had stopped. Nora sat by the window for hours, her reflection staring back at her from the dark glass. She whispered his name once and realized he wouldn't come back. Morning arrived like a stranger. The sun poured through the curtains as if nothing had changed, yet nothing felt the same. Nora moved through the house like a ghost, her body performing habits her heart no longer believed in. She still poured 2 cups of coffee, still checked her phone for messages that never came. Every object whispered a memory. The dent in the wall where Ryan's football had hit, the tiny chip on the table from David's ring. Each one a small wound she couldn't hide from. When Ryan called later that week, she forced cheer into her voice. "I'm fine, sweetheart," she said too quickly. He hesitated. "Mom, are you sure?" "Of course. You just focus on work." But Ryan had always been perceptive. Even as a boy, he could hear sadness in her silence. That Friday evening, she sat at the kitchen table, hands wrapped around a mug of tea gone cold. She didn't hear the front door open. "Mom," came a soft voice. She turned, startled, to find Ryan standing there, duffel bag over his shoulder, eyes warm with quiet concern. "I thought you had work tomorrow," she whispered. "I took a few days off," he said simply. "You don't have to be alone right now." Something inside her cracked, not from pain, but release. He didn't try to fix her sadness. He just stayed. That night, for the first time, the silence felt shared instead of suffocating. When she finally spoke, her voice was small. "I don't even know who I am without him." Ryan leaned forward, his tone steady. "You're my mom, the woman who built everything from nothing. That's who you are." Hope didn't rush in. It crept softly like dawn. Over the next few days, Ryan repaired the flickering kitchen light, restocked the fridge, and filled the house with quiet presence. One morning, she woke to the smell of pancakes and found him humming at the stove. "You'll burn those," she teased. He grinned. "You used to say that when I was 10. She laughed, a sound she hadn't heard from herself in months. Later, watching him mend the old backyard fence David had promised to fix, Nora felt something shift inside her, a blend of pride and gentle love that had nothing to do with romance. "You didn't have to do that," she said softly. "I know," he replied, "but I wanted to." Those 4 words stayed with her all day. As the weeks passed, Nora began to breathe differently. She cooked small meals just for herself, read books again, planted flowers near the porch. Sometimes she'd smile at simple things. The scent of rain, sunlight on the counter, Ryan's laughter drifting down the hall. One evening, watching the sunset, she said quietly, "I used to think my life ended when your father left." Ryan turned to her. "And now?" She smiled faintly. Now I think it just changed direction. The sky blushed gold as they sat in silence. For the first time in a long time, she didn't feel broken, just human. Because endings aren't always failures. Sometimes they're invitations to begin again.